I'm Madison.
I'm Camille.
I'm Emily.
That's Ciara. This is our Shakespeare project.
Ethiopian cultural wedding ceremonies are colorful affairs that are rich in tradition. Wedding customs in Ethiopia vary depending upon the diversity of the community and are among the most important forms of expression.
Today we will be discussing the marriage customs of present-day Ethiopia as well as the origins of these traditions.
We will be showing how these traditions are practiced along with the meaning behind each tradition.
Arranged marriages are still common in Ethiopia, specifically within the rural towns of Tigray and Amhara. Child marriage is still a very prominent issue in the world, and unfortunately Ethiopia is among one of the countries where child brides still exist.
Brides in Ethiopia are usually married off at a young age. 40% of girls are married before the age of 18, and 14% are married before they reach the age of 15. Ethiopia is ranked number 16 in the world for highest rate of child marriages.
As Ethiopia is a developing country, extreme poverty leads to child marriages. Originally, child marriage was a custom that occurred between two wealthy families. Rich people used early marriage as a way to establish an alliance with two strong households in order to ensure land and cattle for their offspring.
This trend gradually decreased with the loss of resources in rural Ethiopia and the increase of poverty. In Ethiopia, it is a common tradition for a husband to pay a dowry to a woman's family in order to earn her hand in marriage. Some families use this practice as a way to advance their economic and social standing by giving away their daughter's hand.
Christianity and Islam are two of the common religions in Ethiopia. Tigray and Amhara are Christian areas where arranged marriages remain very common. Women must be virgins before the day of the wedding because virginity is sacred. The family of the bride will be shamed if she is not a virgin. Although women are wed at a young age, men aren't usually married until 30. This is because men have to be 30 to be in public ministry work.
Marriages are often arranged with a mediator. The groom's family will usually hire one to set the terms of the engagement with the bride's family. The wedding is then planned and paid for by the parents of both the bride and the groom.
In urban Muslim areas, wedding traditions are similar to those of Christian areas. Arranged marriages are not as common, but both families must approve of the union. In contrast, however, Muslims can have up to 4 wives depending on their status within the community. If a Muslim woman's husband dies, it is the husband's brother's responsibility to take care of her and her children. He also has the option to marry her.
There are many traditions that are a part of Ethiopian wedding culture. 2 days before the ceremony, a telush is held at the bride's parents' house. This celebration involves the bride, groom, and families taking part in a gift exchange.
On the day of the wedding, the groom prepares himself at home in the company of the other groomsmen. The bridesmaids gather at the bride's home. The groom arrives with his entourage, and all those inside of the bride's house go outside while singing a traditional song about not letting anybody in.
As part of the fun, the groom begs to be let in. The groom is eventually allowed into the house, and he presents the bride with flowers. The bride accepts the flowers, and they are escorted to the car. Everyone heads to the next ceremony.
Although the engagement is planned prior to the wedding, the actual engagement happens the day of the wedding, where there's a ceremony with all the families joined together, where rings are exchanged, cake is cut, and champagne is popped.
What kinds of foods do they usually eat at Ethiopian weddings?
Most of the food they eat is super spicy, and they also tend to eat a lot of meats. They used to eat uncooked meats, but now they tend to cook it more. And then they also don't allow pork.
The meat kissing tradition takes place when all guests head to the hall where the wedding will take place. At the entrance, the great-grandparents and grandparents sit while dressed in cultural clothing. Upon arrival, the bride and groom approach them, kneel down, and kiss their knees. The grandparents give the bride and groom their blessing.
At the wedding lunch, the couple makes their grand entrance, and the candle girls, flower girls, bridesmaids, and groomsmen lead them inside. Traditional Ethiopian songs are played. The priest prays for the food, and the couple is the first to be served.
The best man or the groomsman must be present when the couple consummates their marriage.
The ceremony happens after the bride and groom take pictures with all the guests. The couple shares a dance together, and then the other guests eventually join in. The band receives congratulatory messages from friends and family around the world who are unable to attend the wedding. The band then calls out the names one by one and passes on the wishes to the couple.
The second day after the wedding ceremony, a milas takes place. The couple dresses up in traditional outfits called kabas and head to the place where their parents have chosen to host the milas, or a post-wedding party. This event is for close family only and involves bread cutting and coming up with a nickname for the bride. The family gets together to cut bread as the bride's mother gives her a nickname that everybody present will use in memory of the wedding. Every couple must have a milas as the entire Ethiopian cultural wedding is incomplete without it.
Finally, on the third day after the wedding, Kaliki takes place. Parents and the newlyweds agree on a venue and invite extended family who couldn't make it to the main ceremony. The parents congratulate their children, bless them, and bid them goodbye.
After an Ethiopian wedding ceremony, the bride and groom spend 1 to 3 weeks at the groom's parents' house for their honeymoon, during which time the bride is not allowed to leave the house at all during the daytime.
Hi. Thanks for watching.
Oh, that's an awkward angle of my face. I don't want to turn the camera. Thanks for watching, guys.